As kids, we're told not to worry about what's under the bed, that it's just our imagination. But what if it wasn't? What if something or someone was really down there, watching us sleep? Dark greetings, everyone. I am Lord FreakZilla, and this is Gothic Sagas. Tonight, I'm going to tell you 5 true stories where that childhood fear turned out to be very real. These aren't ghost stories. These are real people who came far too close to something terrifying. And after this, you may never sleep the same again. Now, let's venture into the depths where shadows dance and secrets lurk. There was a boy named Elijah who lived in a quiet suburb in South Carolina. He was 10 years old, a normal, happy kid with no history of night terrors or bad dreams. But one night in October, that changed. He ran into his parents' room, shaking. He told them, "There's someone under my bed. I heard breathing." They checked. There was nothing there. Told him it was probably just the wind, but Elijah kept waking up at the same time, around 2 a.m. every night. Always the sound of slow, heavy breathing coming from under his mattress. One night, the mom sprinkled flour on the floor beneath the bed just to show him no one was there. The next morning, the flour was untouched. But Elijah wouldn't sleep. He told them, "When I fall asleep, it gets out." The parents bought a nanny cam, one of those small ones with the motion sensor. They set it up facing the bed. That morning, they reviewed the footage. At 1:58 a.m., the mattress moved. Something shifted underneath. Then an arm slid out, followed by a man, thin, pale, crawling slowly out from beneath the bed. He stood up, just out of the frame, and at 3:07 a.m., he crawled back under. Police were called. No one was found. No sign of forced entry. The SD card wiped clean. Elijah never slept in that room again. In 2013, a young woman was living alone in an apartment. One evening, she was on the phone with her boyfriend while casually flipping through her mail. While still talking, she stepped out in the hallway to grab her mail from the common mailbox wall. She was distracted, chatting, laughing. She got her mail, she came back, opened the door, and returned to her bedroom. Sitting on the bed, feet on the floor, she tucked her phone between her ear and her shoulder and was starting to, rifle through her envelopes. That's when her phone slipped from her hand and slid backward underneath the bed. She sighed, leaned forward, and got down on her chest to reach for it. But as she stretched her arm underneath the bed, she froze. There was a man curled up in a fetal position, pressed tight against the far side of the bed frame, not looking at her, just there. She didn't scream. Somehow she stayed calm. She grabbed her phone and she said calmly, "Hey, I'm gonna jump in the shower real quick. Let me call you right back." With her phone in her hand, she stood up, walked into the bathroom, locked the door, turned on the shower, and opened the window and jumped out. She was on the first floor. She ran across the street behind a parked car and called the police. When officers arrived, they went inside and found the man standing outside of her bathroom door. He was holding a knife. He had been waiting for her. Police believe he snuck in when she left to go get her mail. She must have left the door unlocked while distracted on the phone. He was later committed to a mental institution. And her boyfriend? He moved in with her the next day. This happened in Philadelphia in 2012. A college student named Amber lived in a shared apartment with two other roommates. Over a few weeks, they noticed odd things. Food missing, clothes out of place. One of them joked maybe the place was haunted. One afternoon, Amber came home early. She walked into the room and noticed a strange pair of shoes, men's shoes, under her bed. Not hers, not a roommate's. So she crouched down and she saw a mirror, partially hidden under the bed frame, like someone had been watching her. She slowly lifted the mattress and found a man curled up, surrounded by clothes and blankets. He had been living there. She ran, she called the cops, and they arrested him that day. When they searched through his belongings, they found a notebook. Inside were dozens of entries tracking her daily schedule, what she wore, when she was home alone. And on the final page, he had written, "She still doesn't know I've been this close." Amber was never alone again. In 2014, a 16-year-old girl in the UK was hanging out in her bedroom, texting friends and scrolling through Snapchat. That's when she got a message from a boy that she had recently met on the app. He wasn't a close friend, just someone she had chatted with briefly. The message said, "Go to your window, I'm outside." It was late. Her bedroom looked out onto a quiet courtyard. She checked but saw no one. Still, it creeped her out. She left her bedroom and she told her mom she wanted to sleep in her room with her that night. She didn't mention the message. Later, as she was drifting off to sleep, another message came through. "I'm in your house." She jolted awake, showed her mom. They both jumped out of the bed. They searched the apartment. Every window, every door, all locked. Nothing was out of place. Thinking it was a prank, they went back to bed. The next morning, the girl woke up and decided to go back to her own bedroom. She immediately felt uneasy, like someone was watching her. She checked her closet, behind the curtains, under the desk, nothing. Then she noticed her pair of shoes. The way she always lined them up neatly had been moved slightly. She dropped her knees to adjust them and saw something, a face, under the bed. It was the boy from Snapchat. He was curled under her mattress, clutching his phone and grinning. She screamed and ran. Her mom came running in. The boy bolted out from under the bed, dove through an open window, and took off. Police later caught him. His name was Kyle Ravenscroft. He had become obsessed with the girl and climbed into the apartment the night before. When she got the message saying he was outside, he was hiding. And when she went into her mom's room to sleep, he climbed through the open window and waited. He received a short jail sentence and some community service. But the girl never slept in the bedroom ever again. In 2017, a college student who lived alone in an older apartment started noticing strange things. Food in the fridge seemed to disappear faster than usual. Pillows on the couch moved. Doors she swore were closed would be wide open when she got home. It was small stuff, but enough to make her uneasy. And then came the nightmares. Vivid dreams where someone was in her apartment, just out of sight. She began waking in cold sweat, heart racing, but always alone. One night after another nightmare, she decided to take a hot shower to calm down. Like usual, she brought her phone into the bathroom to play some music. She placed it upright near this old wooden frame, just close enough to change the song mid-shower. Now her bathroom door had a unique old-style key lock. If she locked it from the inside and then took the key out, it couldn't be opened even from the inside. Halfway through her shower, she reached to skip a song. Her hand brushed the phone screen, and that's when she froze. The glass was reflecting something. Someone was standing in the middle of her bathroom. A dark figure, squared up, facing the shower. Somehow, she didn't scream. She slowly pulled her arm back, turned the water as hot as it would go, waited until the bathroom was thick with steam. Then in one motion, she ripped the curtain open and sprayed the scalding water straight into the figure's face. The person was screaming. She darted out. She grabbed the door key from the hook, locked the bathroom behind her, and ran. She went to the kitchen for a butcher knife, but it was gone. So she grabbed a towel, ran outside barefoot, and called the police. When they arrived, she handed them the key. They opened the bathroom door and they found a disheveled woman, middle-aged, crouched in the corner, soaked and burned. She was a former tenant. She had kept a copy of the key and had been sneaking in to sleep on the couch. That night, she had taken the girl's kitchen knife and was waiting for her to step out of the shower. Each of these stories has one thing in common. Someone hidden inches away, waiting. And the scariest part isn't what you saw, it's what you didn't see. So tonight, before you go to sleep, maybe check under your bed, just in case. Thanks for watching Gothic Sagas. If this episode disturbed you even a little, please consider subscribing and like the video. And tell me in the comments, what story stuck with you the most? And if you have your own close call or creepy story, I might just feature it. Until next time, sleep tight.